Hey, it's the Chubby Bartender Podcast with your host, Jason Gillum and Chad Reynolds. With a special guest each week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey, look who we got, boys.
Hey, we're back.
Two local legends.
Yes.
We're back in the action.
Yeah, this is long overdue.
Yes.
Really looking forward to talking to these guys.
It's a good thing we're not live, or there'd be a guy in Michigan that would probably just buzz us in.
Yeah, I would say zero question about that.
Yes, but hey, before we get started, we got to thank a few people. And who we going to start with today, Chad?
Well, hey, let's talk about people that might be looking for jobs out there.
I know where they'd go, don't you?
Well, I mean, I know where I would go.
Yeah, where's that?
Hire.
Hire. Go to thinkhire.com. If you know anybody looking for a job, you got a neighbor that's, got somebody living on the couch, or you got somebody living on your couch. And they just need a start, need a little help getting going. Hey, these guys, they'll go out and they'll get you something. They'll get you to work immediately as long as you can get through their initial process.
Putting people to work every day.
Every single day. So give them a call, 740-395-0100, or get on their website at thinkhire.com. You'll be glad you did. Yes. Speaking of the day, where in the hell can you go earn it?
Oh, you can earn the day at AP Prep.
And how can they check them out?
They can go to apprep.com.
apprep.info.
I'm sorry, apprep.info.
Come on, Prater.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Hey, dude, I'm the guy I'm the color guy on this, man. I'm not the one dropping the contact info. I mean,
so go to apprep.info. Hey, Prater, we got to make sure Chad earns the day.
Yeah. I'm trying to earn it right now.
I got a report earlier from another chubby.
Is that right?
Tommy Hill, and he said that Fat Massey was over there boxing over at AP.
My goodness, he's keeping it going.
I've heard 3 people's told me in the last week how good Massey looks.
Gee whiz.
Turns my stomach.
Well, I mean, the man's dedicated. He's now earning the day. He's done with these weight loss competitions.
Oh, he's done with me. He's past me.
Yeah. Well, heck, next thing you know, the guy's going to be in the ring. I mean, I don't know.
He'd probably build it.
Well, yeah, he could at least build the ring. We know that. He owns a business that is one of our sponsors.
That's right.
A good
Geiger
friend of the
Brothers.
program. If you got some construction that needs done,
give them a call.
Maybe you need an engineering solution.
Yeah.
Give those guys a call. They'll get it done. Now, how do they get a hold of them?
740-286-0800, isn't it, Tyler? Is that what it is? Hey, I remember that.
Yeah, give him a call. Ask for Scott Massey.
Scott Massey. Just talk to him and ask him how he's transformed his looks.
Yeah, say, hey, man, have you bought like a whole new wardrobe now?
Oh,
I bet he's throwing away clothes. I bet Kayla's buying brand new jeans.
I can't wait till he gets to the point where he thinks he can get in one of his kids' clothes.
Yeah, well, he's probably already doing that. Or trying.
He's trying.
I'd like to get a picture of a few of those failures.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
I would too.
He'll be dressing like a 20-year-old here for it, too.
Well, while he's getting skinny, I tell you where I've been.
Oh, yeah, well, and I mean, let's give a shout out to Sarah Munn. I mean, every now and then she'll just crank a beer in the morning.
Right, she took out the apple bush.
To the face in the morning,
right there off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, so these people, these are real people out there.
They care about.
Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, if you're in Jackson and you want a Busch Light, it might as well be a Busch Apple, right? They're preparing
much like
for
the apple fritters.
Yeah, I mean, those apple fritters are amazing.
That mixture in the morning.
Oh.
That'd be delicious.
I've never tried a Busch Apple, but so I'm one behind Sarah. But
a Busch Apple with an apple fritter.
Oh
my God!
Using the app. Yeah, they've been serving our local area for over 40 years, ladies and gentlemen. The Munn family, delicious apple fritters, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, sausage McMuffins.
I mean, anything.
Yeah.
Tell them you need page 2. You won't be disappointed.
There you go. Best coffee in the league. Best Diet Coke.
Yeah. Best service.
Go see them.
McDonald's. Jackson Wells, No Kill MacArthur.
Yeah. And, I hear insurance rates are really favorable right now.
I tell you, we was just talking about it right before the show, how business has changed and easy to get a hold of. Shoot me an email, jason.gillum@american-national.com, or give me a call at 740-357 or 395-0357.
Yeah. Hey guys, the smart thing to do is get your insurance checked out every so often. Make sure you got everything. Make sure you got everything covered. Make sure that
COVID's still kicking, so life insurance still is not a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
So,
well, and hey man, you got
COVID is not a pre-existing condition.
If you got young kids and stuff, I mean, you need to you'd be responsible.
Just
go get some life
today.
insurance.
It's, I think $21 a month for $250,000. Cheap.
There you go. That's the time to buy it when you're young like that, man.
So, all right. Well, hey, now we can get down to the nitty gritty, boys.
Yes. Mike Morgan and Jeff Elliott, welcome to the show.
Yes. How are you, gentlemen?
Fine, thank you.
Appreciate
the chance.
You guys are great.
That was we shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Hey, well, before we get started, hey, I've got a commemorative. This is a special edition with you two here.
Okay.
No, you just can't get these
Oh my
just
goodness!
anywhere.
It's a Busch Apple.
Since you guys are, legend in
Busch
Apple
Light.
City.
Yeah, Busch Light Apple. Heck, you can't find these things anywhere. It's all over the internet.
Man.
Where do you get them? Where did you get these things?
A gentleman never tells.
Oh. Somebody gave you the hookup.
Man. I got you one.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Tyler, would you like to indulge?
Never tried one of these.
Oh, my.
Well, hey, no better time to try one than right here on the show. I'll give it a review.
Gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Been looking forward to it.
It's like apple juice beer. Is that made by Mott's?
Wait a minute, how many carbs are in there?
I don't know. Let's see.
Every one of them is delicious.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to guess there's a little bit in there. I don't know.
Chad about went into a coma right there.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Chad? How many's in it?
I don't know.
I can't see that well.
Can
but
you Google that? How many calories in a Busch Apple?
Yeah. I would
Carbs. I don't care about calories.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a bunch. Are you ketoing?
I'm diabetic. So
Yeah, me too. I got 11 grams, Jeff. 11.8 grams.
Give me that other one over there that I saw you pull out. That 2-carb one.
There you go. There it is.
There we go. Now someone will have to
I'll
drink
drink
that.
that. I mean, I think I can find a place for it. Yeah, I think I can find a place.
That's
for it.
interesting. That's a much different taste.
I'm proud of Busch.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done, Busch.
Yeah. That's
You guys-
different.
Mike, let us know what you think here.
Well, it's all right.
Definitely
Nothing wrong with
different. Definitely.
Your son will be so jealous that you got your Busch latte apple.
I know he will. Tear him up.
So, hey, we've been wanting to get you guys on here for a while. It's just been a matter of when and where. And, I know a lot of people know you from being dads and businessmen in Jackson, but I think there's a lot of people that do know about you guys and your behind-the-scenes work as songwriters. So that's something that we've been focusing in on here lately with some of our takes on things. And
you know what? One of the things I would like to start with, if you guys will indulge us, is let's go way back to the genesis of this thing. I mean, I've heard stories about you guys, fresh out of high school and everything, taking trips to Nashville and doing that.
I've heard about
you've always had an interest in music. You had a band in high school, correct, Mike?
I did, yes.
And so, if you guys don't mind, tell us a little bit about how all that got
are
started.
you guys the same age?
No, he's a lot older than me.
A lot older.
That's not. He's 2 years younger than me.
Billion years old. I can't believe you guys would have somebody a billion years old. On this show. All these people say, where did these guys come from?
No. But did you guys play in high school? Did you guys start playing together years ago?
No, he did. No, he had a band.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware of his band. I was 2 years older than, you know how that is in high school. That's like
Light years.
500 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When did you start, Mike? When did you pick up the guitar and start singing and doing that kind of stuff?
Oh, probably. I think I got my first guitar. I was about 6th grade. My dad showed me some chords, that kind of thing. Yeah. His dad was the lead singer of the first band I ever played in.
Oh, is that right?
My dad was?
Yeah.
You told me that. Yeah.
He was.
What was the name of that band?
I can't remember. It was short-lived, but we played the Apple Festival.
Oh, nice.
And if you play the Apple Festival, you're
that's
on record.
when you've arrived.
You're
That's
on
it.
record.
Yeah.
Thought you'll build on that one, huh?
Yeah.
It's over after you play the Apple Festival.
Yeah.
Next stop's the Gabriel.
Paul Hanks and I, Paul moved to Jackson, I think my sophomore year, maybe late, and he and I became friends, and he came from Chattanooga, and of course he knew about country music, and that was what I really enjoyed, some of the country music, but we played rock music, and so that's how we got started. And then me and Larry Coburn, and let's see, Larry Paul and Craig Loney and Dan Crothers. We all got together and just started singing and said, well, maybe we can pick up a job or two. And then all of a sudden, stuff took off. Paul's a great singer.
Okay.
He's a wonderful singer.
Was that you was playing? Used to be a teen center down on Dickinson, right? Is that where you started?
Yeah, it was what they call the youth center.
Youth
yeah,
center,
we
yeah.
played a lot there, but we played all over the place. We played a lot of proms and all that kind of stuff. We did. I remember I walked in the youth center down there, and it was a Friday night or Saturday night. It was only open on the weekends. Your grandfather was was
Grandpa
one of the main
Stinson.
cogs of that.
Yeah.
Good man. And there was somebody playing records. They had a jukebox. There was somebody playing records, and Frank Farr was there. And they were playing an album. And I asked Frank, I said, who is that? He said, it's the Kingsmen. The song was Louie Louie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, man alive, that's a great beat. And, so I was telling Hanks about it, and so we started picking up on that, and we literally played every song they ever made. And that's how we got started playing all that stuff. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, back in, you couldn't have just looked the song up. And, that's what I've always, guys, that's the biggest difference I've always thought between guys before the internet. Whenever I play with them, the guys that learned before the internet really came out is you guys play it clean as hell. And my bunch just muddies it up because they're just trying to match whatever speaker they've been, they don't have to really hear that thing out. They just have to look at it and say, that's what, that's what that is.
We were picking up needles and dropping them and picking it up and saying, where did that go? What is that a minor chord? Yeah, it is.
Oh, man, I can't imagine trying to
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine trying to learn how to play guitar.
But when we became friends with Ike Landrum, he helped us.
Yeah.
Ike would say, oh, no, that's a sixth or an augmented. And we're like, oh, what the heck is that?
Did he teach you like the scale, like the 1 through 4, like the Nashville number thing?
We kind of knew a lot of that stuff, but he would be able to hear things, what we called chord inversions, and that was a big help. And then, but boy, it was tough learning some of that stuff.
Oh, I'd say. Yeah. And this was in high school then. Is that band? That was the Truants, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
And then I hosted their last show.
You guys had a little reunion.
It was their last. Yeah, it was fun that night.
I was happy to do that. I've heard about the Truants since I was old enough to remember hearing.
Yeah.
And I was proud to do that one. That was one of those ones that I can walk away from the stockroom and saying, hey, I was glad I did that.
Well, after we got through, I need to mention this for John's sake, but after the first couple years, John Jones and Joe Click joined us.
Okay.
And John was from Wellston, Joe.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys know John.
Oh, yeah.
And so they joined us, and we played clear through our senior year, and then I went to college, and Hanks left, and I think John continued on for a while.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what happened after that.
Yeah. So Jeff, when did you start playing the guitar and writing music, or what instruments
I didn't
do you
play guitar.
Okay.
I played piano when I was young, and but I was in college at Ohio State, and I don't know how I got started writing lyrics, but Mike was involved in it.
How did you guys come together?
Well, I don't remember that.
You've worked together a lot.
I can remember.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. We were home. We all got together on breaks. Your dad was with us a lot, and we'd come home for the breaks, Christmas breaks and everything. We'd all get together because we were all friends, and I had tackled a few songs and I played them, and he said, well, I can ride better than that. And I said, well, do it. And so that's how we got started. Now the average person would have said, blew up and got all mad and everything. But I thought, well, he probably can, because I knew they weren't very good. and he did. And we started, and the first song we wrote was horrible. Then we said, got another one. He's a great lyricist. So anyway, we got it working and got it moving.
And you're how old at that point? So this is 50 years, 60 years
Oh,
ago
I'm
for you guys
20.
now?
I'm 18, 19.
Yeah.
But I do remember really working at it and how much I loved it. You know, my mother always raved about Hoagie Carmichael and Johnny Mercer and these great lyricists. And there was a bunch of us in my age group that loved to go out on a country road. We'd back up a couple cars to each other, and somebody'd sit. A bunch of us would be on the hood, and a bunch of the other guys would be on the trunk, and we'd be singing Kingston Trio stuff. And I don't know if you ever heard of them, but these are folk.
Okay.
So this was early '60s, very early.
Rock and roll's probably not around here.
Oh no! Rock and roll's big. And
is it here yet?
Oh yeah,
in the 60s?
yeah. Oh yeah. I loved Orbison,
Roy Orbison.
Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
Little did I know they all recorded in Nashville, but Orbison in particular for his lyrics and the way he delivered them. I remember Only the Lonely. Even as a kid, it'd make me cry. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I remember I had this one girlfriend, and we broke up. You know, this was like 8th grade.
Yeah. major time.
It's a
Big relationship.
It's a really rough
Yeah.
time, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of our best songs, too.
Oh, okay.
So I remember the song Kathy's Clown, but the Everly Brothers had. You know, it just tear me up.
Yeah.
So I always tell I've told my grandchildren, I believe in love when you're 14. Just be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because it's real. I mean, you know,
it can
it's
be
a rough time. So
Yeah.
anyway, lyrics. I just love lyrics. I just.
Your brain must have been moving pretty good at a young age, because like that, it takes, you know, I've told Mike, but I'm diving into that right now, and man, I just can't get over how hard it is to like compartmentalize, you know, choruses and verses and where you know to stay in. I mean, you know, I'm finding now I'm pulling lines out of songs and creating new songs with that line, and you know, just doing all kinds of stuff that, I mean, it just keeps breeding. I'm having a hard time like nailing one down, you know, and it gets frustrating, but damn, it's fun once you get the bug.
Yeah, I one time Mike and I went to the very first Bluegrass Festival at Bean Blossom, Indiana. It was in 1967.
Okay.
So
Was that your original like genre that you guys started like?
No,
trying to
it was
play?
just another one we loved.
You just liked that.
In particular,
Did you pick a genre back in? So like whenever
just country.
You guys were doing like country western. So give me an idea on the sound. of that.
Early Willie Nelson,
Early Willie Nelson.
Waylon Jennings,
Yeah.
Merle Haggard,
Yeah.
Earl, yeah, all those guys.
George Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that solid ass, just country.
Yeah.
Just that. I mean, that's that. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I know.
We were young.
Yeah. That was hot then.
I will say,
was
well,
hot.
it wasn't very hot. It wasn't the big thing for most people.
What was?
Rock and roll and rhythm and blues. I mean, Motown.
Okay.
Oh, Motown.
So
was
when would rock and roll have hit this area?
Oh, it hit in the 50s.
In the 50s,
Late
okay.
50s, yeah. But same as everywhere else.
Okay.
And country just wasn't as popular.
No, but
It wasn't the newest.
I don't know why, but about 1964, I hate to go into too much personal stuff, but in
It's
my
a podcast. Hal.
Yeah, yeah.
in my personal life, this will be hard to believe.
Uh-huh.
It was the summer of
69? Would have been great if it was.
Yeah.
the summer of '63. I was married. I was a junior. I was becoming a senior in high school.
Okay. Wow.
Things changed
Yeah.
for me.
Sure.
So I began to look at life differently, and I don't know.
And then you're up in Columbus at that point.
No, I'm in Columbus.
He's in Eastern Kentucky.
You're at Eastern Kentucky. Yeah.
Well, he's still in high school in '64, right?
Well, I'm saying, but whenever you meet and you guys hook up, start writing songs.
He used to come up.
You're a dad, or you're a husband.
Yeah, and a dad.
And dad, yeah.
So he used to come up to Columbus, and
So did you guys always co-write songs, or would one of you have one, then you would kind of bounce it off the other guy, or how like the co-writing thing has always fascinated me, because I don't know whether that would be I think that would be very difficult. Like, did you guys break it down where, like, Mike, you would do a lot of the music and Jeff would do a lot of the lyrics, or was it like just totally collaborative on all sides, or how
that's
did
the only way
work?
to do it. That's the only way to do it.
Okay.
Somebody comes with an idea.
Yeah.
You're going to have a melody in your head, or you're going to have a melody in your head, or you're going to have a melody. I mean, it's always a back and forth, open-minded process.
Yeah.
It would have to be if you two been doing it for 50 years. I mean, it would have to be pretty open. You guys would have to be with that pretty open mind.
We have a very subtle way of disagreeing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
Sure.
not.
I believe it.
I might really have gotten a melody in my head.
Yeah.
And he'll go along with it. I mean, for a large extent, it just might be the same with him. He say, I don't like that. We'll just work it out.
Yeah. And you could always do both.
I've always said, and Mike's heard me say this before, but and the way country music's written, I remember we were at a songwriters thing, and Michael McDonald was talking, and he was saying that they'd have the song written musically, and then sitting right there in the studio, they'd write the melody. I mean the lyrics. And we're like, how can you do that?
Yeah.
How can that happen?
Yeah.
We could have never done that.
No. So
and had a good song.
So country music's the opposite. So
Well, I think
almost always the lyrics come first.
almost always.
Well, usually a hook line.
Unless you're like one
or a
like
title.
I don't know if you watched that Eagles documentary, and they talked about how a lot of their songs were based off of, Joe Walsh or Don Felder be over burning up a lick, and they would say, "Hey, what did you just do?" And Life in the Fast Lane, that was just Joe Walsh's warm up guitar lick, and Glenn Fryer, one of them, said, "We can use that," and they built the whole song off of that one lick.
We have done that.
Yeah,
but
you're seeing some of this, like you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not here to bash it, but some of the newer country, you're seeing a lot of it come out with particular beats, like stuff like that that was just somebody doing something, and that was built off of that. I think so. I think it just depends on what you want to do.
See, I would think like with a lot of the songwriters we've had on here and talked to, a lot of people have made the comment, you start with that hook.
That's
there's like there's a certain hook to the song, and then you build around that.
Well, that's one way, but you can also start with a good title, which is likely the hook, but not always.
Okay.
And then
I just learned that 2 weeks ago.
And then there's there's the scenario of the song. What's
the
going
idea.
on? What are we doing here? Where's this guy going?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the first line.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one morning, I hadn't had much sleep. I went downstairs. This was just recently. Went downstairs, made the coffee, fed the dog, sat down, said, "I'm about 3 hours short of a good night's sleep."
Yeah.
And I said, "That's a good song."
That's a good song. I had one on the way here. I had texted a guy, and he was doing great. And I said, and he went. I was just teasing him, but I said, "You are the happiest, saddest guy I ever met in my life." And I thought, I need to keep that. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, one thing that, I admire you both for doing, I've told you this, is, right now I'm asshole deep in little kids baseball and just every single night, we got this, but it's kind of my release. If anything.
Yeah.
But weekends are tied up, family events. How did how did you stay at it all these years and you know, go through being a dad? Because you have two kids,
and
right?
you both also had stable careers
five
as well.
kids.
I mean,
yeah. So I mean, you know, you guys obviously have busy lives, both successful careers. How in the hell did you make time to stick that out for the last?
There were periods where we didn't.
Was there?
Yeah.
Breaks.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go like time periods and not do anything?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're not, even today, we're not very prolific. I mean, there's no way, I don't think, I couldn't. I don't know if Jeff could or not. I suppose he could if he wanted, but I couldn't do it where I would go in an office every day and just write songs.
Really?
Oh, there'd be, well, I could do it, but the songs probably wouldn't be any good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we spend time letting the song cook.
So how do you start up whenever you decide to go back at it? So like, you know, when I mean, you obviously
will one of you just have an idea
and say, "Hey, you want to
call
get
and
together?
say, hey,
I got
let's
an
get
idea."
together. I got something.
Similar.
Yeah.
He may send a lyric. I may call him and say, hey, I got some stuff that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, because you guys live about, I don't know, 800 feet apart. So.
Right, pretty much.
I will say this. This is a sad situation.
Happy, saddest guy.
I just got. Yes, there you go. I had to get a new computer. I had this old one. It was a Vista.
Hey, Chad, what are you doing August 13th and 14th?
Oh, I'll be jeeping for joy,
I guarantee it you will be. Where at?
Richard's Brothers Orchard. I believe we start at.
This is War X, Richard Brothers Orchard?
Yeah.
Yes.
You better believe it. Now, you probably won't catch me on one of those slides because I'm afraid I'll break a hip.
It's shirts off for the Chubby's night out there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there'll be no chance of me having a shirt on.
Shirts and skids. You going to do the off-road course?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right.
I hope my Jeep will make it.
Your Jeep's going to make it.
Yeah.
So,
we're going to test it.
We got the road ride leaving at 2 p.m. and we got weekend pass for the slides and off-road course. So look us up on Facebook, Jeepin' for Joy, Instagram at Jeepin' for Joy. Website's in the bio. Get your tickets today.
Yeah, be there, be square.
That's right. See you.
Microsoft Vista.
Oh, yeah.
And it wouldn't support, they wouldn't support anything. So finally I kept losing this and losing that. And I said, I got to get a new computer. So I backed it up,
Yeah.
with my little red device, whatever it is. Backed it up, and I took the computer up there, and I bought a new one, and I said, hey, you got to save my documents. They all got lost. They're all gone. All my songs are gone.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
No.
Tyler's over shaking his
So
head.
I said, I said, hey.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know about that.
Got this little red box.
You need to get with Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you can save me.
Tyler,
I said,
I'm
how about this backup? And I said, it's corrupted too. It's as bad off as your hard drive. So,
hey, we got to take one for the team. Try to help him out there. Yeah.
all right, man.
Yeah, because
I was going to say, one thing I used to do is I got the idea years and years ago when I was at Ohio State. I went in a bookstore there. I lived at University Arms Apartments. That's what it was called. It's called University City now. You know where it is, over on Olentangy?
That might.
So I go in there and I see this book. I remember seeing this book title, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. And then, a few months later, here was the song.
Oh, yeah.
So I realized, hey, there are song titles there.
Yeah.
So I had a list, probably 200 just titles of books. I'd go through Amazon book titles.
So when do you pull those back out to reference them? Are you if you got an idea and then you're like, hey,
I can't now. They're all gone.
Yeah.
But we probably wrote 25 songs out of that list. Just out of that list.
Now, do you still have the songs?
Yeah.
Did you have those?
Well, one way or another, we've got the songs.
Yeah, I say if you're sharing them back and forth, there's probably that.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I'm counting on him to have them.
Yeah. Well, how are you doing all that now? How are you recording stuff? You guys just
we just do a guitar vocal on a Zoom recorder.
Okay.
Is it Zoom?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it is a little deal and do that. It does a good job, and then we send it, and then then decide, well, do we demo it? What are we going to do here? And most of the time, if we get it right, which we normally can get a pretty good cut, we'll even pitch it if we know who we're pitching it to.
Yeah.
Meaning giving it to artists or managers or somebody. But that's how we normally end up, and just try to hang on to it, and then he'll come back and say, well, let's change the lyric on line 3, and we change the lyric sheet and redo it.
And it's a different song all of a sudden.
Well, it can be.
Yeah.
It's literally done that way.
I don't know how they narrow. So much of those songs are coming at those guys. I don't know how they ever get to narrow them down anyway. And I mean, they take them and they change them, and then my God, they just now they're excuse me, now they're redoing songs. I mean, like Tennessee Whiskey, and they're just constantly switching stuff.
So when you send something out to be published or or what, like, is there always feedback from the producer? Okay.
No, a lot of no.
But like when they say, all right, we like this, but we want you to, is there always something they want you to change, or is it normally pretty straightforward?
They'll either say yes or no, won't they?
Usually they'll, if you get something, if you're pitching to an artist or a manager, especially an artist, they'll kick it back pretty fast if they like it. If you don't hear anything for a couple of weeks, then you might as well forget it.
Probably dead. Yeah.
But I've also found, one of the things I've learned over the years is pitch it again.
Yeah.
Just keep pitching it, meaning maybe even back to the same artist on the next time he's cut.
Yeah.
Because they get thousands, 500 and 600 songs. They listen to them, and if it doesn't hit them,
my Jeffs won't even listen to my stuff. Like if I send Donnelly something I'm doing, he'll even listen to it. I mean, I can't imagine
just
trying
for help. Or
I'm just asking for help from him, and he won't even answer me. I can't imagine trying to get somebody that matters.
they're just covered up.
Oh, I know.
And
that's what I was telling somebody the other day. Can you imagine all the stuff, with all the ways of communication now, can you imagine how much influx is coming at them all the time? I mean,
it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, it kind of tells you, just think how many good songs have probably never been heard.
Oh.
I know. And then you think about what's the difficulty factor of getting one through and getting it recorded.
We were talking today. In fact, we had a conversation today, and we were talking. So maybe we just need to go buy 5 lottery tickets. We might have a better chance of getting something done.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's changed. Back in the 50s, when in country music, they didn't have songs. They didn't have enough songs.
Right.
They had artists.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough songs, and then all of a sudden now got so doggone many songs.
And not enough artists.
And not enough artists to cut them, and no money to do it.
Yeah.
Now money's an issue, so it's all.
Now everybody's a songwriter.
Oh, yeah. And a producer.
So I was just thinking today about we were in the studio in Nashville, and at Jay Verne's, and Jonathan Yudkin sat down next to me, and he said, musicians, we're the bottom of the heap. And I said, no, you're not. He said, well, who could be lower than us? I said, songwriters. And he said, oh, yeah, I forgot about you guys.
Yeah.
They run when they hear, you're a what? Songwriter. One time we were sitting out at the Bluebird. I feel Craig Wiseman was sitting right here beside me, and he said, supply me with my whatever it was he was drinking. Jägermeister.
Oh, my.
I said, can you really drink that stuff? He said, yeah. So I said, I'll keep you supplied here.
Yeah.
And he said, say, what do you guys do? And I said, we're songwriters. He said, oh, forget about it.
Yeah.
Well, they always wait on the proverbial, hey, could I drop some songs off next week to your office?
Yeah.
Sure, bring them over. And then you go over that night, and they're in the trash dump in the back.
Yeah.
Not always. Most of them try to do. Hey, a publishing company is in the business to find songs.
Sure.
So why wouldn't you listen?
Sure.
So what they do now is they got some interns and people like that that listen.
Yeah.
And I always like the story of Bill Anderson. Always told, Bill.
Yeah. Wishbone Bill.
Yeah, and he had gone into Columbia to see Billy Sherrill, I believe, who was a big producer, and there was a girl in the front, and she said, "Well, who are you here to see?" And he said, "Billy Sherrill." He said, "Who are you?" He said, "Bill Anderson." So he sat out in the lobby, sat out there about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Billy Sherrill happened to walk out. He was getting a Coke. And he said, "Good gosh," he said, Bill, I am so sorry. They just told me some guy named Bill was out here." He finally brought him in, but that girl had no idea who he was. Not that he was trying to crowd in on somebody or anything like that, but that's how it is when you've been in the business a long time.
Bill Anderson's probably more popular now than he was back then.
He just cut a new album.
I'm sure, yeah.
82 years old. Still writing and still writing good.
Oh my!
Somebody else was still writing the other day. I saw that. I watched a documentary on. He was going crazy with it. Keith Richards.
Oh,
He's doing another album.
Yeah,
just of himself. And I thought, damn, wow.
Well, some of those people
that had to be like mowing grass at some point.
yeah.
hey, some of those people were still got good voices and still doing really good music.
Yeah.
Jeannie Seeley just cut a new record. She's been a big opera star.
A lot of people underestimate though, like how good some of those people really are.
Oh, they got great voices.
Man, I remember whenever that guy from Hinder was down at Rye Grand at Drinks. And remember Austin Winkler, the guy that wrote Lips of an Angel.
Okay.
He used to be down at Drinks every weekend. He was living here. And I went down there. We were the first band that played down there. And I'll never – like he's probably the most famous guy I ever was on a stage with. And, dude, whenever he sang – I mean, I thought my monitors were just going to jump out and hit me in the face. Like, I was like, holy shit, now there's a professional. I mean, it was unreal, the power that, some of those people had.
I'd tell you a story about that one time. Chad knows him, and Jeff knows. You remember Nat Stuckey?
No.
Nat wrote the song Papa Top.
Oh, okay.
Jim Ed Brown did, and he was a great artist. He was on RCA and MCA. Well, Walt Cook and I were playing. We did a couple shows with him.
Okay.
And Walt always tells the story. We were on stage, and we heard what you heard, what you described.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. I never will forget it. He just looked at me and said, "Man."
Yeah.
I mean, he had the voice.
I mean, it's
we were probably supposed to be in G, and we were probably playing an E because we couldn't, who knows what was happening.
Yeah.
But boy, what a voice, but I know that feeling.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I'll never forget. But you guys, it's obvious that, and there's another thing that's admirable about how you've done it is. You've just went at it with the right intent and the right reasons. You had fun, so therefore you really didn't care if you get told no, which didn't defeat you to the point that you got mad and quit. You always just went at it with a fun, type of, it was like you said, you loved it. You fell in love with it, and because you're still doing it now. I mean. That's just, and that's something that's what's weird about music is music has a way of doing that I've noticed. That's the only thing I've always stayed at is music.
Yeah.
I bet most people that pick up a guitar and truly learn still play to an extent.
Oh yeah.
It's not like baseball or even anything running. It's not like any of that. I mean, that's something that you kind of continue to.
Well,
you still play piano a good bit?
No. I pick around when I'm working on a song,
But you're still doing it.
Oh yeah, it's part of the.
Yeah.
But my wife
But
is
she's
such
a
great.
player.
She's a great musician.
Yeah.
So I ask her lots of questions, but
I always think it's funny because I think I got kicked out of her class, and then I went on to be, play music. I'm pretty sure I got kicked out.
she
of
never
her class.
mentioned it.
She probably tried to block that part of it.
Well, there's a lot of kids.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
But she does remember almost everybody and their fathers and their brothers and so teachers are like that.
Oh, I know. I'm married to one.
So,
Yeah, I know. It's Chad is too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Big,
one thing
big teacher.
Now Michael never did get into it. And now Katie, she dabbled in music stuff, didn't she?
a little bit.
Yeah, she a piano. She do a little piano.
No, Susanna does.
Sang. Katie
Katie did sing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Susanna's a lot younger than me, so
Yeah,
I don't know what she did.
Now Mandy did a lot of music, didn't she?
She plays
Mike?
piano and saxophone.
Yeah.
See, how old were your kids whenever they started doing it? Because Gibson's 7, and he's not. He doesn't. It's not like he's running from it, but it's not like he's wanting to do it 24. He's not ate up with it, and I don't know if it's because he's always seen me do it. He just. But I figure sooner or later he'll come and say, "Dad, teach me, this."
Yeah. I don't know. She started 5th grade probably.
Yeah.
And then played saxophone in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It'll be a little philosophical here for a minute. So Mike and I were, when was this? So we wrote a number of songs.
How many songs do you think you two have?
Oh, I don't know.
1,000?
I don't know. No.
About 500.
About 5. Your catalog's 500.
Yeah.
That's deep.
So
That's deep.
we
I'm struggling to write 10.
so we're in the 10 or 12 category back in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we had managed that many. I don't know. So we decided by golly, we're going to take him down to Nashville and see how we do. So
To live, or so whenever you say take him down to Nashville,
just to see.
just so where are you
we
going?
take him to publishers.
Yeah, so you're just going to take him. You're going to take your. What are you taking? 8-track? What are you taking?
Let's see.
Reel to reel.
Reel to reel.
Reel to reel.
Reel to reel.
Yeah.
So you're taking reel to reel and you're door knocking.
Yep.
Cold call Cincinnati Bales sales.
That's about it. We're in
it.
Nashville at publishing companies.
Okay.
Nothing happens the first time.
Music Row.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
So the next time we get down, so by that time, this is 67, 68,
Yeah, you graduated 66.
Maybe later.
maybe 69.
Yeah.
It's no later than 69. So
You want another apple?
I'd be if you got one.
we go to New Keys, which is at that year they had been the #1 publisher. So we said, why not go to #1? And so we presented our stuff, and they said, we like it. We'd like to sign you to a 5-year exclusive contract. We said, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Exclusive. That word was just like magic to us.
My, yeah.
So that night we go out to, I don't know where we
Celebrate.
Well, we were staying at a motel, and Ed Bruce was playing at the motel.
Jack Spencer's.
Jack Spence's, out on Murfreesboro or somewhere.
Right.
So he says, you guys look like musicians. Of course, it was 69, so we had the long hair. And, so he said, so what are you doing here? And we told him. He said, you did what? You signed an exclusive. What'd you do a dumb thing like that for? So that kind of shot us down. But
Taught you the ropes.
heck, we were just learning.
Yeah.
But they did get songs cut for us.
We
right
did,
away.
yeah. And still are friends with him today.
Yeah, and
We still do.
I remember not long after that, they said, we want to do a demo session. Come on down here. And I said, okay. So Mike couldn't come, so I go, we're on our way, and we stop and get some fried chicken. I said, who's playing in this demo session? He said, Fred Carter Jr. I said, whoa. He said, Weldon Myrick's playing steel. Who else was on that?
Billy Linneman, bass. DJ Fontana.
Elvis Presley's old drummer, Fontana.
Fred Carter was Dina's dad.
Fred played in
good man.
Dylan stuff, and in Simon and Garfunkel and stuff like that. So these are
Big name guys.
I said,
Yeah.
wow.
These guys done it before.
I said, who's singing? He said, you are.
Okay. So you got to sing with those guys.
So yeah, so that was. I'm telling you, it's surreal to 1 minute you're a student at Ohio State, And the next thing,
you're in the studio.
you're singing. And in those days, you couldn't make mistakes. It wasn't like they could punch you back in.
They weren't dubbing you in at that point. Was that all just?
It was all live.
Mike's in a room.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So they're not like bringing in tracks at that point.
No, all they could do was stop.
Reel to reel. There's no tracks, right?
So the first song, it was reel to reel.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, deer in
No
the
pressure.
headlights.
Yeah.
No pressure.
And and they stopped and they said, "You going to sing?" I said, "Hey, nod or something."
Yeah. Yeah. So that's right off the rip. You're a 5-year deal right off the
bat. It's really unusual. And
so that publishing deal got you in with. So they cut songs. So got songs cut.
yeah, I got.
Did those songs ever get like cut?
No,
like
they were-
they just
No, they were minor things.
yeah. But they were I guess shelved or not? Is that how you'd put that? Recorded, known about, labeled.
Well, they had a little label, their own label, and they had these people on it. And one of them was Bud Logan, who had been Jim Reeves' frontman.
Okay.
And later he produced John Connolly.
Oh, okay. All
So,
right. Yeah.
I remember at that time. I will say, I got drafted, and when I got out, I got an early out by saying I got a job in Nashville,
Really?
which I did. They signed a letter that
Really?
they'd give me a job, and little did I know that job only lasted about a month. And
You didn't have to go back though, did you?
I didn't. No. They didn't want people at that point. They were getting rid of everybody.
people.
So, but they had a lot of acts that company did. It was Tom T. Hall's former publishing company.
Okay.
But he had left, but Bear was still hanging around, and a lot of
Bobby Bear,
and Bobby Lord, and Wynn Stewart, and all these old guys.
Yeah.
And, so it was an interesting time.
So tell me about Ed Bruce. So I don't. Ed Bruce. So tell me about Ed Bruce.
All right. Well, a good friend who just recently passed.
Sorry to hear that.
Good man. Heck of a singer, heck of a songwriter. Did a lot of TV commercials. Was in Maverick.
Okay.
The Maverick TV series. Friends with Garner and all that. I came to know Ed, as Jeff mentioned before. We were down there when we signed that agreement. And I'd gone down later. So when I was at Eastern Kentucky, I would, how it is on college, you have a schedule. You get classes on Thursday, and then you're done for the weekend.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even know it when I first went there. I said, "You mean we're done Thursday? Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And so I would occasionally, me and 2 or 3 other guys would run on to Nashville.
How far was that?
From Eastern, about 3 hours, 3.5.
Half what is it?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's 30 miles below Lexington.
Okay.
Richmond is. But anyway, I had gone to, and Ed was playing a lot, so I'd gone to see him and told him we had had some songs, and he said, get a hold of me. I can't remember where we were, but I'd said hello to him and talked to him. He said, catch up with me the next time you're down. I want to talk to you. And he said, I'll be at Tree Music, and likely. So here's the number. Call me. And about a month later, I went to Nashville and called him, and he said, come over to the house. And he said he and his wife and Byron Binkley, who was a producer at WSM Radio and TV, were starting a publishing company. And he said, I'd like for you guys to come on board. So we did. And it worked.
What did that mean whenever you got a publishing deal? What did that mean?
Just that they would pitch your songs, and we didn't get any money.
So basically, they're your outlet for songs.
Yeah, we didn't. He said, if you need any money, let me know. And I said, I don't want any money, because what happens is it comes out of your royalties.
Yeah.
And if you're hurting, fine. But I was doing okay. Yeah. And so anyway, we got that going on, and he was signed with United Artists, and at that time, and then that's when he cut the Feel Being Gone, the song that he did then, and then went on from there. And we just stayed in touch, and then later, I'm shortening this a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
We played a lot of golf together and drank beer and the whole deal. Whatever you do in Nashville as a songwriter, we did it. And
I usually go to church.
Well, we did that too. We did that. Thank goodness.
I go
And and later on, after he had pretty much quit recording, and I was talking to him one day, and I said, "Man, you need to cut something. You need to get something out." He said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "I don't know if I want to." And you got to know, Ed, because it's like, oh well, you plant that seed, and then all of a sudden you get a call.
Yeah.
So he called me back about a month later, and he said, "You still want to do that recording?" I said, "Yeah." And I told Jeff about it. I said, "Hey, we got a deal going on here. We're gonna have to work this out. So send me some songs." And then he went to Donna Hilly, who was running Tree, and said, "We're going to do this recording," and they helped finance it.
Okay.
The whole deal, and then we got 3 songs on there, on the thing, and we co-produced it with him. And
so whenever you say you produced, that means basically arranged the music, the mix.
Found the songs. I mean, we listened to a CD of stuff, all that kind of stuff.
We paid some money too.
You what?
We put in some money.
Yeah, we had to fork up some money, and just because we couldn't get it done, but Sony put most of it.
Okay.
And so then he said, "Well, let's write something." And we had this song a long time. "The Tracks You Left on Me" was the name of the song, and we did it, and I always heard Gary Stewart doing it. He was Dean Dillon's buddy. I don't know if you remember Gary or not. He was a great singer. Anyway, I always heard that. So I told Ed, I said, "We got this song, and I'll send it to you and see what you think." And then he said, "Well, we need to do a Texas Shuffle song." So he said, "Well," I said, "What's a Texas Shuffle?" and you hear this in the back, "Morg." That's the way he talked, You don't know what a Texas Shuffle is. I said, "I know what a Texas Shuffle is." I said, let's just do it, And so I sent it to him. We'd had this version, and I was in Amish country doing this deal. And I go back to the hotel, and there's a message. "Give me a call." So I called him back, and he said, "I got this thing pretty well done." And he played it and then sent it on. So anyway, long story. We went to Nashville, got in the studio, cut it. He's quick as you could be. I mean, he's just boom, he's nailing them, And he said, "Is that all right? Do we need to do it over?" And you're like, "No, we're fine." He's a great artist. So anyway, that's the long side of it. He's been here to visit. We played golf with him. We used to go over to East Tennessee, and he'd come over there, and he and a bunch of guys, and we'd play. Good man.
Just great friendship.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed. That's what I'm respecting the most about the music business at this point is a lot of the friendships that I've made. And you might not talk to these guys about song, your song or their song, but you're staying in the business, you're staying in the loop, you're just, just keeps your blood pumping, I guess. And just, it's something that's a hard friendship to make in a small town with people that are, because it's not something that's around a lot, I mean, as close as we are, we don't talk about songwriting with each other.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
One of the joys I had with Ed is we'd go out to his house, and he lived in East Tennessee, and had a big porch, screened-in porch. We'd sit there at night, and he'd just pick, throw a guitar back and forth. And he'd play me something, and he'd play it. And he's tough. He was tough on you. I mean, he pushed for the song "The White Ray" and all that kind of stuff, and
I've quit calling Donald. He hurts my feelings so damn bad every time I talk to him about my song. I've quit calling.
Hey, that nose stuff just hurts.
Oh, it hurts bad. I'm not used to it.
Part of the business.
Yeah.
Thanks for the no.
Yeah.
We've had people bring us stuff, and we'd say we don't want to critique this. We don't want to do this. They say, "Oh no, please." I won't get upset. I said, "No, we don't really want to do it." No, go. I said, "Go ahead. It won't bother us at all. Won't bother me in the least." We say, "Well, what you need to do right here is say, well, why would you want me to change that?"
Yeah.
So
It's and there again, nowadays it's got to be I don't want to say different for you guys, but I mean your outlets are just blossoming now compared to back years ago. I mean there's always a way to get your music out now.
We have it easier than some.
Yeah,
because we know so many people in the business.
Yeah,
and I always wondered about a new person coming in, going into Nashville. It's probably a pretty good writer. You got all these roadblocks to get through. When Jeff was talking about, we took our songs.
Yeah,
we walked in offices, and they said, "Yeah, have a seat." Flip it on the recorder, and hope they didn't turn it off. Real quick,
3-4 seconds.
Yeah, and they would listen to them, and you can't do that today. There's no way a writer can do that. So you have to network and all that. But it's just different.
Of course, so you can also just download to Spotify or something.
You can download to Spotify. You can download to TikTok. I mean, that's the big thing now. Is these artists are these
people come out of nowhere.
People are coming out of nowhere. There's a guy I don't know.
Goes directly to the fans.
Yeah, this guy named Blake Fades, and he's like this hillbilly cowboy / rapper, and he's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
and he's got like all of a sudden, boom, 3, 4, maybe 10 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then they got people
get
calling
$1 off
each
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and he did it all through TikTok. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to like the Paul brothers or any of them on YouTube. And I mean, these guys single-handedly have more followers than like news stations. Like, I mean, you're talking 10, 15 million YouTube followers.
And not signed by a label.
And just themselves. I mean,
they do a podcast. I mean, they do all kind. I mean,
and it's like, okay, so if you could get those guys to even play your song in the background, you instantly just had 15 million people you were in 15 million people's ear.
Well, if you're an artist today, for the most part, you got to do it that way.
You do.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yes.
I mean,
and that's a grind. Like, Shane Runyon and I were on the phone earlier today, and that's what we were talking about. Just he's like, man, your 3 to 5 posts a week. You got this title that you got to cover on Monday, and then Wednesday you got to hit them with this content, give them a little music, and then on Friday you got to tell them where you are for the weekend. And he's like, that's just Facebook, and he's like, then you move to Instagram, TikTok, radio stuff. He's like, it's a lot, and. I admire anybody that goes down there and does the grind in Nashville because, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I played in Nashville or whatever, but the grind down there, I've watched men just flat ass belly up. I mean, just
most of them do.
90% of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because everybody down there does it.
When I was telling that story before, I didn't get. I said I was going to get philosophical, but I didn't get to that point. I was down there some years later. I was at a pharmaceutical convention with a bunch of my kids, and I took them down to Music Row. I'm good. And they said, well, Dad, how come you left here? I said, we were at a gas station. I said, see that guy sitting over there on the curb? Had a sack, and he was down between his legs. I said, that could be me.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm going back to college.
Yeah. But that's why I think you two have done it so well, because you've stayed in it and you didn't let it eat you. You didn't let the nose just beat the shit out of you to where you just folded up shop, And I mean, I
don't know. At different times we have. I remember when I told you I'd come out of the Army and I was down there. And I had to go to work in a water heater factory. At that time, I was responsible for 4 children.
Yeah.
And I was about to starve to death. I can remember going to the grocery store and buying stuff and then putting it back, saying, we don't need this. We don't need this. This is over our budget.
Yeah.
And at some point, I said, I believe I could do better than this.
Yeah.
So you got to weigh things. And another thing about music and entertainment in general, there's a dark side. There's an underbelly that is.
I mean, I just did it at a local level.
That was kind of apropos.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the ghosts. Yeah.
I did the entertainment thing at a local level, and I'm still doing it. Doing it with this, but there is a. I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it, but it does. I got all in that shit. I got in a funk there a couple of years ago, and like you said, I can't imagine being one of these guys that's got millions of. They can't go nowhere. I can't imagine even being Brad Munn.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people rip his ass over a 25-cent cup of coffee.
Well, I've been there, but so
I can't imagine being Jason.
Yeah, that guy's out there trying to play golf, and somebody's bitching about pickles on their hamburger.
Oh God, Mustard! Can you imagine getting your ass torn over Mustard on the golf course?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, but you're right. It's got a dark
dealing
side.
with the public's a whole different thing.
It is. It is. I mean, and that can get you. So back then, though, Nashville wouldn't have been a pimple of what it is now, though.
Let me tell you a story.
It's huge now. Isn't it?
Here's a funny story. The evening I got ready to leave Nashville, it was a Friday evening. I said, I'm going down to Tootsie's. Now, that was a whole different thing then.
Yeah.
It was like 4 rooms, one back of the other. And the last one opened up into the alley right there at the Ryman. So
there was 4 rooms in the bottom of Tootsie's.
Seemed like 3 or 4, wasn't there, Mike?
Yeah, there's.
Well, there was. You had the upstairs and the downstairs.
There was no upstairs.
Yeah, this is
See, now it comes out on the alley.
Yeah, so you went up a few steps. There was a jukebox, and there was one of those bowling machines.
Yeah.
Something like that. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Stage.
And stage.
Yeah, the corner.
No stage.
No stage, not them.
It was just a jukebox. It was just a honky-tonk.
Yeah.
We're talking basic. So I'm sitting there talking to Tootsie.
Okay.
And I said, I was like crying on her shoulder. I said, I got to go. And she said, honey, you're doing the right thing. I've seen boys come in and out of here by the hundreds.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing. Well, this old woman came from across the room and sat down next to me and said, I can make a star out of you. I thought, what is she talking about? This old woman.
Yeah.
And about that time, Tootsie said, Audrey, get away from that boy and go over there and sit down. I said, who in the world is that? That's Audrey Williams.
Audrey Williams, yeah.
So this was Nashville then.
What year's that?
This was 73.
73.
1973.
So senior's gone. She's still in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Hank Jr. at that point in time is pretty hot.
Pretty big,
Yep,
yeah.
pretty hot.
But they'd kind of separated, I think, him and his mom. And,
Oh, had they?
yeah, I think. Isn't that right, Mike?
I'm not sure. There's a point there where they wanted him to do his dad's music, and he wouldn't do it. He didn't want to do it, So
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He was kind of groomed to be his dad.
Yeah.
Basically a show of his dad, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
But
going to be like a,
I just
Dwight
tell that
Eisenhower.
story that was Nashville then.
How was she? So she was rough? I mean,
Oh, yeah, she was near death. I think she died shortly after that. In
Really?
fact, Tootsie did.
Really?
Yeah. I've got a picture of it from that night. In fact, a guy that I worked with at New Keys Music said, Jeff, let me take your picture. I was like, great.
And you're standing there with Audrey?
And so me and Tootsie
Okay.
sat down there, and he took our
That's
picture.
cool.
And he handed me the picture and said, "That'll be $5."
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's got to make some money. in
Oh,
Nashville.
yeah.
I can hardly $5.
I heard that they sell 11,000 beers a day.
That's it.
I wouldn't doubt
Tootsie's.
it.
That would be about 10 beer trucks a day.
That's crazy.
Can you?
Well, I mean, you know, I can see that though when you go down there on Broadway now. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
where would they store that? I mean, you know,
I
you run
don't
into a
know.
whole different logistical nightmare.
That's just one place.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, how is that working? How is these places not just? I don't. Do those bars all have basements in them?
Just in time
I don't know.
delivery.
you got to, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure.
probably.
I'm sure they've got it down to a science
Oh, yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
When
No
their
doubt.
times are going to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. Well, gentlemen, I've enjoyed the stories. You going to come back on with us?
yeah. Well, we can pick up and
We didn't
do part 2.
get anything.
We didn't
yeah.
do. We didn't
That's
do
right.
anything tonight.
That's
Yeah,
what-
we're-
that's what-
How far are we? About an hour and a half. Yeah, that's about where we like to be. So we'll do this again. So.
Yeah, to be continued.
You ought
Yes.
to do it quick though, because we're getting old.
You guys ain't that old. You ain't that old.
No,
You never know.
They're more worried about me and Pudge than they are you guys. You guys are a lot
we're the ones
healthier
over
than
here
us.
just slamming
yeah,
back,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But you know how I told Mike earlier. I said, he goes, "What are we going to talk about?" I said, "Well, my God," I said, "between Jim Reynolds' son and Gary Gillum's, we could find something."
Yeah,
to
certainly
talk
we
to
can
you
find
two
something
about.
there to talk about.
You know, so anything else you want to cover?
No, man, this has just been really interesting.
Yes.
I look forward to diving back into it. I thank you guys for,
I'm just
for
glad
coming
that
on.
you beat your son on the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's going to eat at it.
Oh yeah, I like it. I
And
like
now
it.
he says that is he got some appearances? Is he coming down?
He's trying. Last I talked to him, he's trying to rent a Jeep for Jeeping for Joy, and him and his neighbors from across the street are going to come down and participate in the
If I can get
Jeeping for
mine
Joy.
running, he can take old Red.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you guys. We
Hey,
enjoyed
no
it.
problem.
Hey.
Thank
We've known
you for everything.
both of you for a long
Oh
time.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
you've done a lot for us since we've been going, so thank you for that.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
That's,
Glad to help you anytime.
yeah, it's we're having fun with this podcast
Oh, heck
stuff.
yeah.
It's, you know, it's been a great time. Summertime's tough. You know, we got sports and shit.
yeah.
Just 24.
Hey, if you can drag us on here, we know
Yeah.
things are really lean.
Oh no. Hey, I mean, what we always do when once somebody's on and we get about an hour and a half in and we're sitting there thinking, man, we could probably go another 2 hours.
Yeah.
That just means we've got to invite you back, and hopefully you
Yeah.
guys will had enough time of a good time that you'll come back and do it with us again.
We're also going to do like a songwriter like showcase type of. Be able to record you in a video and an audio, and that way we can kind of move into it like how they do a talk show. You know, they'll fire that up over there. We're going to try to do something like that. We got to figure out this AC issue, why we can't run the AC at the microphone. I tell you, that's
we
one
do.
major thing. You know, as a chubby,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, it's a lot
God.
cooler
Did
down
you
here.
go upstairs?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's awful.
Next time I'm in a competition with Fat Ass Matthew.
Yeah, you
I'm
just go up
going
there and put
upstairs
trash bag on and go up there and jog
just
around a
sit.
little bit.
Have
Yeah,
a sauna.
yeah.
2,000 square foot sauna. How you like that?
Well, you need
Massey?
to put some rocks up there and start dropping water on it, and we'll get some steam up there. Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
we need,
yeah.
steam. So, all right. Well, hey guys, it's going to be after the 4th, right?
Yep.
Before this probably comes out.
Probably, yeah. So I hope you had a great
Hope
4th
you
of
had a great
July.
4th of July. Like and subscribe.
Stay chubby.
All right. See you.